Hey guys, we're back for number 2 in the Talion XL series, sitting on the bench. If you saw video 1, you watched us build this monster, and this thing is really cool. If you notice, it's filthy, and that's because it earned it. We took it out and we tested it severely to see if it was worth all the hype that I heard about the XL cars. We tried several different sets of tires, and we did have to change a few things once we got it out in the field. And at the end of the video, we're going to go ahead and go over those changes and let you decide for yourself if it's worth it. But first, here's the running footage. Check this out.
Oh no!
So there you go, guys. That's the running footage, and it was a blast to do. We learned quite a bit, and we want to get down inside of this right away and show you what we had to modify on the car. You know, it handled really good. That longer wheelbase made it way more controllable in the air. It does cause for a much slower rotation depending on the tire size. Okay, so this car only suffered a couple of minor breaks in here, and one of them was in the front bumper. Not a huge deal there. And the other one is this GPM center brace that we put in instead of the EXB one. We put it right in the middle here, and it sheared the bolt off when we hit the ground. So odds are the same impact took out these two rings in the front and destroyed this one piece here. Everything else stayed really nice and solid. And if you take a look at how we put the battery connection together, when you index the motor to the rear, you wind up needing to fix this down this way, or it has a tendency to unplug because there's only so much distance on this cable, and your battery leads can be a little shorter from one battery to another. So fastening those down in that way really does make a difference. All right, so I'd like to touch on one thing that's really important to the car build, and that's tires. Now initially, and of course these are dirty because we just got done running it, and I'll clean them up after the video. I just wanted you to see the kind of use we put on these. These are the LPs, or the Outcast tires, and they have a lot of mass on the outside, which makes the car want to stand up and get real touchy. It's less so with the long wheelbase, but you can still tell the difference. And on the track, it gets real touchy when you get in the air. So these were a little difficult, but when you get in raw conditions, these work pretty well for that application. We went from that one to the factory tires that came on the car. And these are fast. They are really a quick tire. They don't grow much. They got a good stable feel to them, and they're a lot lighter, so they spin up a lot faster. And these are good for a lot of situations, but they don't get through a lot of the raw stuff like sand and that type of thing nearly as well as some of the larger tires. That's when we put these on. And since we were kind of comparing this to the Fireteam because the footprint's the same, these are the Fireteam tires, and these are my favorites. These work in all kinds of situations. They got a nice tall sidewall on the inside and the outside, and they're really forgiving. You get into something sideways and these will sort of flex and scurf over it. They don't grow a whole lot, but they really get around in nature. If you get in sand, if you get in those type of situations, this handles great. It's not nearly as touchy in the air, and it's a lot more controllable with these on it. So for this particular car, these really are the right wheels for the job. Okay, so let's take a second. I'll show you what we've got here. And we start off with the RPM arms all the way around it. These are nice and flexible. They're for the Creighton, and they fit the version 4. We have the Hot Racing aluminum ends out here for the hub carriers. Those are nice and stable, keeps the pillow balls from popping out. Got the EXB front bumper, and it's got some damage in here. We put the aluminum center braces in it, and we did break off one of these bolts, and we changed this. Now on the back here, this is a T-Bone Racing rear bumper, and this rear wheelie bar bumper assembly is amazing. These things are really tough, and they sell these things in batches, so sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't, but when they have them, I recommend getting one. Initially, we put the wheelie bar on the wing mount, which changes the trajectory of the car when it stands on its rear wheels. It allows it to stand a lot taller. It's less controllable. That one hits the perfect angle where you can run with it up in the air, and it's pretty slick. All of the running gear is stock, so it's got the 2050 motor, the 185 BLX speed control. It has a 6-channel receiver in it, and it does have a 25 kilogram servo. We did change out the servo mount to an aluminum one. Other than that, it's pretty stock with the EXB, or it's got the Mojave chassis, and this is the EXB version, and it does have the Mojave top brace and drive lines. And that's pretty much all that's required to do this. If you want to know for sure how that works, go ahead and check out the first video. Now let's get into the questions and see just exactly how this turns out. Question 1, is it fun? Hell yeah, that's fun. I like the Talion class anyway, and stretching this thing out gave it a much longer footprint, and it made it a lot more stable. This thing is really fun to drive, it's really controllable, and it flies awesome. So on the fun category, I'm gonna give that one a thumbs up. Question 2, durability. Is it durable? Well, yeah, we punished this thing good and hard, and we broke minor things. Every major component, including the chassis, is still in great shape. The chassis is unbent. We did break that one part on the center braces there and the 2 rings in the bumper, but that's all we suffered, and we were not holding back. So on the durability end, it gets another thumbs up. Question number 3, is it worth the effort? You know, this thing did take quite a bit to put together. You know, it's a cool car. I really do like this particular series. So for me, it was definitely worth the effort because, one, I just wanted to see how it would handle. But the thing is, now that I have that one, the odds of running the other one are lower because this one is way more stable and it's really impressive to watch run. So for me, with the cost involved with the chassis, the center braces, all of the upgrades we put into it, including the aluminum outdrives here, all that, it was definitely worth it for me. But you know, if money's tight, that stuff does cost money. If you shop on eBay, you can sometimes find things at a budget price. I got the chassis for $50, and if you buy them from the factory, they're a lot more than that. The center braces weren't all that expensive. I think it was $20 for the pair. And you know, little cheap things that you can find. That's why I don't have the EXB ones on it, because the EXB ones were a little more expensive, so I went with GPM. But it's still the aluminum center braces and that kind of thing. For me, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up on worth it. Of course, that brings us to question number 4. Where does this stack up to our collection now? Well, this just jumped up ahead of the Typhon to take out place number 6 right behind its brother, the Creighton. Holding down place number 6, the Talion XL. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. It's awesome when you do. And don't forget that notification bell to stay informed of upcoming videos like this one. You know, these custom builds, they're a blast to do. We really enjoy the wrenching around here, and getting to go out and see what your handiwork has done, that is really cool. If you guys have done a custom build like this, please feel free to leave it in the comments down below and help others along the way. Hey guys, I'm AJ with AJ Jam Studios saying, keep bashing, guys.